Hello and welcome to my channel. I'm the Angry Simmer. As you can see, we're over here on my Tumblr. Go and check it out. Anyways, for today's video, we are going to be reviewing the Modern Kitchen Stuff Pack by LittleDica's? I don't know. I'm horrible with names. So it just released today, which is the 29th of September, for public access, and no longer do you have to go to Patreon and pay for it, which feels horrible to say, but that's what I did because I wanted to review this and not have to pay for it because I'm being cheap right now. We want to buy a house. You guys, if you're on the channel, already know I want to buy a house, so we're trying to save money on places, so I'm not really paying for CC that often right now. And I'm kind of glad I didn't on this one. I think it's great. I think the person worked really hard on this, but it's just not something that I see myself using as often, and it kind of, I've already pre-recorded me looking through all the pieces for you guys, and we'll jump into that here in a second. But I went to build a house right after I did that recording, and I went with Peacemaker cabinetry instead because I'm just a Peacemaker stan. But I do think that the creator did a beautiful job with this. I think it is Max's match while also being really, really beautiful and really well made, really modern, and actually looks like something that you'd find in a real apartment like this one. Like, you're clearly in San Machino, so it works out. The only thing that I really have to complain about, other than like the color palette's just not for me, is this tall cabinet piece is a double oven. It's wonderful, it's beautiful. Well, I've got a couple other things to complain about, but we'll get into that when we're in the video. This guy is non-functional other than it's a cabinet, but if somebody could make a functional wall oven or microwave, because that's like, those are the two same things, it would be beautiful. But anyways, if you'd like to download this yourself after watching this review, I will have the link directly to the Tumblr page so that you can go here and then click on the download links here, which I kept looking over because I was continually, let's see if it will go to this for me. Oh wait, crud, I did the wrong thing. Anywho, so yeah, on the other release, it had like the alright, so instead of looking like this, it did look like this part. This part is different on the one that I found it on because it was down here on the 21st. So if you go to this particular one, oh boy. So this is the one that I originally saw, and I saw download, and I clicked on download, and then it came to this. So this was saved, like a tab pulled up for the last 5 days because that's what I've been wanting. So yeah, that's what happened. I was sitting there waiting and waiting and waiting to actually be able to click on these two links, and it didn't, like, whenever I went to go see it, it only had this morning to, like, this is how this would show up, but then it would be a mouse over these two, so I had to go find the next post. Basically, I put the cart before the horse. I was getting too excited to actually play with this, so let's get into it. Let's go over to my recording here, and we'll jump into things. We'll have some fun talking about and seeing it, and I'll see you guys in the rest of the video. Alrighty, so let's get into it. I'm gonna build just a little, like, space here for us to check it out. I actually probably could have made this a little bit bigger or actually a little bit smaller, depending upon your preference on this. But so it took me a second to actually find this in here, which brings me to my first gripe. The counters and the cabinets have a different name than the stove and the sink and the accessories and the wallpaper. They all have the same icon on there. It's that little green one that you can see. But it's the exact same color and shape in the same corner, well, the top corner of the same side as the Hey Harry and Felix Ander collaboration. So, yeah, it's a little annoying to me because with that one, you can, so with the Hey Harry and Felix Ander one, you can simply type in kitchen and it'll come up. And yes, I said that right. It's kitchen, not kitchen. Anyways, you can simply type that in and it'll bring you up everything. Now, of course, the wallpapers and the tiles that come with it won't work. But see, so there's me trying to find the stove, and I was going, I remember seeing a stove and a refrigerator with this stuff. So that's where I was first realizing that that wasn't all organized properly. So there's a different, they use a different type of, or a different name. I don't know if it was something that they had already made, that they just reused those same appliances, and that's why it's like that. But if you're going to package it together, it would be better to have the names together so that you can actually search for it. Now, that being said, if you don't have a billion things of CC in your game like I do here, because I'm looking for, because it also didn't say if it was a backsplash or tile in the ad, so I had to figure out the hard way that it was a backsplash, or well, not a backsplash, it was a tiled wall. If you don't have as much custom content in your game as I do, you don't have this issue. But since I have ungodly amounts of custom content, and there's a huge majority of the CC community that does, that's the issue you have. Now, I said earlier that I'm glad I didn't pay for it because it's not my style. That doesn't mean I don't think it's beautiful. It doesn't mean that I don't see the value in it. And if this is your style, then I highly recommend supporting the custom content artist who worked very, very hard to create this for us and the rest of the community. It's very well done. It's beautiful. They clearly took a lot of time to make this. It's just very masculine for my taste. I think that's what it is. It's all like the tile floors are really cool. It's a very cool concept, but it's very yeah, it's just masculine. It's very 80s, which is nice. I do like those chairs. There's a couple of them that I pointed out that I would like. There are two basically that are the same. I don't know what that is supposed to be, but it is part of it. And so there are two different size refrigerators. I did not notice that because they blend into some of the other ones that I have. I will say there's some assets that I would consider keeping, like the ovens. They're kind of cool, especially that one that is an undermount one, and they have a separated, I don't like the vent hood, but I'm very particular on the vent hoods. I don't like pretty much any of the vent hoods that have come out, other than like 2 ones by Peacemaker, and the rest of his I don't like. I'm just picky about it. But yeah, those stoves are pretty cool. And so that one's a separated one. So you have the oven, and then you have the cooktop in a separate piece. And once I find it here in a second, I'll show it to you. This is also the smaller refrigerator for shorter wall height. Although I have this at the shortest wall height, and that's what you get there. So, or maybe it is the taller wall. I don't know. I'm pretty sure I put this on the shortest one though. But so once I figure out that the appliances are under B&H or H&B, as you can see on the screen, then I see, oh, here are all the other things. So, oh, and you can't put the stovetop above the oven, which is a little annoying, but whatever, you know, whatever. And I struggled at this moment. I'm going, was this something different? Am I showing them something that I didn't, or that I didn't download for this video? What's going on? So I actually went back and checked, but yeah. So we are at the end of the video. I hope you liked it. I hope this was informative, and I'll see you next time. Bye.